Simon Calder, welcome to you. I have to say, coincidentally, my new passport arrived in recent days. Didn't take remotely like 10 weeks, maybe half that time. But I was reapplying, already holding a passport. So there are different categories, I'm guessing, which will make a big difference.
Sure, Colin. And look, if you were, I'm imagining you applied online, which should have meant the whole thing didn't really touch the sides. If you do that properly, and obviously you used a decent photograph, and personally what I do is advise people to go to a proper photo centre. There are often concessions within big supermarkets, and get that properly done. You can then upload it on the spot to the government's website and see if they like your photograph, and if they do, then you are going to get the passport within 2 or 3 weeks. It's a marvellous system when it works. Not as good as it was, actually, I must say, in 2018, when they were boasting that pretty much every application was handled within 10 working days or so, but certainly better than 10 weeks. However, it's at the far end of that 10-week range that the problems really are. The Passport Office, of course, says it's handling more applications than ever, and 98.6% of those passports are actually issued within the stipulated time frame. But I'm afraid if you're handling 1 million passports per month, that means about 14,000 are not being issued within the 10 weeks. And of course, even though the government says do not book anything until you have your passport in your hand, which you of course now do, it's just sort of human nature to think, oh, well, I'll get my passport sorted out nearer the time. Of course, many people let their passport lapse during the COVID pandemic, perfectly understandably. For a lot of the time, we weren't allowed to travel anywhere. And there are still problems. You'll recall that the Prime Minister himself threatened to privatise the Passport Office if it didn't improve its act. He used some rather raw language, which obviously we shan't repeat at this stage. So it's messy, Colin. Most people are getting away, but it's a bit like the flight chaos. The people who are having a really tough time, well, they're in the thousands, and it's really miserable for them.